Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime carried out widespread atrocities, including various forms of torture, primarily through the Gestapo, secret police, the SS, and in concentration and extermination camps. Here are some of the most horrific methods of torture used during the Holocaust and World War II. 1. Physical torture. Beatings and whippings. Prisoners were often beaten to death or whipped severely. Forced standing. Victims were made to stand for days without food or water, leading to collapse and death. Hanging. Some were suspended by their arms, sometimes with weights attached, causing excruciating pain. Sleep deprivation. Used as psychological torture, keeping prisoners awake for extended periods. 2. Medical experiments by Joseph Mengele and others. Freezing experiments. Prisoners were submerged in ice-cold water to test hypothermia survival techniques. High-altitude experiments. Victims were placed in vacuum chambers to test the effects of high altitudes. Poison experiments. Prisoners were injected with poisons to observe their effects. Sterilization experiments. Used to test ways of mass sterilization, often with radiation or chemicals. Twin experiments. Mengele performed gruesome surgeries and amputations on twins to compare genetic differences. 3. Psychological torture. Family separation. Families were torn apart to break spirits. Mock executions. Prisoners were made to believe they were about to be executed, only to be spared. Extreme hunger and starvation. Inmates were given minimal food, leading to extreme malnutrition. Gaslighting and misinformation. Deception was used to manipulate and control prisoners mentally. 4. Sexual violence. Rape and forced prostitution. Women in concentration camps were often subjected to sexual abuse by Nazi officers. Sexual mutilation. Some prisoners were castrated or subjected to horrific sexual experiments. 5. Forced labor and exhaustion. Prisoners were worked to death in quarries, factories, and railways under unbearable conditions. Those unable to work were often executed or left to die. 6. Use of gas chambers and crematoriums. Victims were forced into gas chambers under the pretense of taking showers and killed with poison gas, Zyklon B. Corpses were burned in crematoriums to destroy evidence. These methods were part of the Holocaust, resulting in the deaths of over 6 million Jews and millions of others, including Poles, Romani people, Soviet POWs, and disabled individuals. The Nazi regime's cruelty remains one of the darkest chapters in human history.